So the webinar today is primarily about giving you a brief overview of what the program is about. I'll introduce you that you'll come across if you study the program. I'll go through the subject areas we will cover and how structured, some of the that we will make use of as a part of the. Okay, so Ed can hear us okay, but the connection is quite poor. What we might do then is turn the video off, because that's the tends to take up quite a lot of bandwidth. I'm going to turn the video off for a minute and we'll see what happens. So you hear us, but you won't be able to see us anymore at the moment. And we can perhaps turn it on again if necessary. So thanks for that. Again, let us know if it is still not too good, the connection, and we'll see if there's anything we can do at this end. So the environmental health program, we run two programs. One's an MSc in Environmental Health, and the other is an MSc in Public and Environmental Health. There's sort of subtle differences. Both degrees will give a critical understanding of the multifaceted of environmental health. Because environmental health is made up of 5 distinct disciplines, and what we do is we try to bring those together in a holistic manner. Okay. The team itself that will be delivering the program here, so we're all qualified environmental health officers or environmental health practitioners, whichever term you want to use, and between us we've got a lot of experience in different aspects of environmental health. I won't say when I qualified, but it wasn't that recently, as you can probably tell. That's worth flagging up at this point is that the content itself is seen by the professional bodies, because we're accredited by 2 different bodies. We're accredited by the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health, the CIEH, and also by the Royal Environmental Health Institute for Scotland, and follow a curriculum that they basically oversee, so you can be assured that what we're delivering is very current, it's very topical, and it is recognised around environmental health. So, the course team itself, I've just listed some names up there at the moment. I don't mean this, but it's just really the fact that some of us are based here on campus. So we're based here at the university, and then there's 2.4 of us at the moment. But we also make use of specialists who are based remote from the university. So these are people who actually will deliver some of the modules for us, and they write it for us, and will provide the support that you need. But they don't actually come into the university. They're based remotely, so they might typically be doing it from their home and such like. The already said is accredited by both CIE here, and it's aligned there. And so, and I'll explain a bit more about the requirements that the professionals need, because people who come on the program want to actually obtain registered membership of one of the bodies in a minute. We try to keep the current and fresh, and because we're online, we do have that ability to be able to sort of drop things in literally as they're happening. So current sort of issues that are in the new, able to actually be part of that, of what you'll actually get. So, for example, we're doing a module that covers housing and environmental protection, and there's a lot of concern at the moment about products and diesel vehicles, to address those sorts of concerns and issues as a part of it. And then obviously people want usually to progress their career or to a new career, and there are a lot of opportunities available in both the public and the private sectors. I happened to notice an ad yesterday in the magazine that Austria are recruiting environmental health practitioners from the United Kingdom, so I think I'll probably be the first to do that one. There was no age discussion as well, as you see. Okay, so there's the 2 different programs. Both programs give you the same basic underpinning skills and knowledge you need to work in environmental health. The MSc Environmental Health is primarily aimed at people who live and work in the UK and who want to then go on and practice as a qualified environmental health officer in the United Kingdom, and as such will then register with professional bodies. And because of that, there are a couple of specific things that people need to do to get that registration, and some of the international because they then had to come to the university or go to London to cover these aspects, and some of the international found that difficult in the past. So with this, it's not dissimilar, but there's no requirement for this attendance at the university. So that's really the main difference between it. So the MSc Environmental Health primarily aims students within the UK practice in the UK. And again, if you're an international student who wants to come and live and work in the Kingdom, that might be the core. But the MSc Public Environmental Health gives you a few more options in terms of the choice and the selection, and it's more geared up for the international market and for practicing in the global marketplace. So what will happen then in your first term then, and how will you actually progress? If I show you a chart here. So basically, if you're studying the Environmental program, there are 6 core modules that you take. There's no options available, I'm afraid. So you have to follow these core modules. The reason for that is the professional bodies insist that we cover certain things in the syllabus. So if you were to start in May of this year, then you would be starting at the point here, the natural and residential environments. So if I just point on this. So that's this one here, natural and residential. That would be your starting, because that's the module that runs in the summer. You would then also progress to health and well-being. You have impacts on the workplace and health. You follow your way through down the second column. At the end of 2 years, because most people tend to take 3 years to actually complete the work, it's possible to accelerate that, and I'll explain it. In the 3rd year, you then go on to study the independent scholarly activity. If you were following environmental public health, then you would you have 3 core modules down this side, and then you have a choice optional modules. We found that a lot of international students wanted to cover in a lot more detail certain technical aspects. So we're trying to offer more and more options in this area. So we've got solid waste management, we've got environmental health and public health issues, environmental pollution and management strategies. But there's also the hazard management that you can take. And we will be adding some other technical modules to this as well to give people that option. So those are the basic structures of the program. It's possible to accelerate your to 2 years, and that means studying 2 taught modules each semester. And that is possible, but you wouldn't be able to start studying 2 per semester until the autumn semester. Okay? So you'll be able to study public health and well-being and the risk and hazard management if you wish to. It's worth talking to the online advisor to decide if you're going to have the time to study 2 modules at a time, because it is a big commitment and there's a lot of work out there. So that's the overall shape that the program is. In addition to the program, the taught program, flag up that if you want to do the environmental health, which leads to your registration with the professional body or partial registration of the professional body, you will need to attend a compulsory course for food inspection at Billingsgate in London. It's a 1-week course. You turn up on the Monday, you finish on the Friday, and on the Friday you take an examination. And when you pass that examination, you're deemed by the professional bodies to be competent to inspect food at the point of sale in the United Kingdom. And that's a requirement of the food standards in the place. But it sits outside of the MSc. So you don't need it to pass the MSc, but you do need it if you want to register. And it comes at the very end. Okay. The feedback we get is it's a very good course. The students like it. I mean, yes, we appreciate it. These are some of the lead in the country in terms of practical food inspection. So you spend time at Billingsgate Market, where we cover all the different fish and various seafood. Also go to Smithfield, which is the world famous red meat and white meat market. And then you also go to the Spitalfields market, where vegetable and other foods. So it's a mixed course, but it is very interesting, and you are getting the best. So if you are following this route and you want to apply as an environmental health practitioner, there are two possible routes. You can follow what the CIH route, and this is aimed at work in either England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So that's done through the CIH. And to register, you need to do 5 different things. Okay, so I've on the slide here. So the first one is you need to pass the degree, the MSc Environmental Health. So that's the one that you need. That's the one if you want to register. So if you pass it, then you first box. On the list there is the food inspection examination. Again, if you go to Billingsgate and you pass the exam there, you tick the second box for registration purposes. The third one on the list, which is in red, is the integrated professional assessment. We run this as a MSc in Environmental. So the 6th taught module that you take is all applied into, and this is another element where you will actually need to the university. So it's a 1-week course. It runs in May every year. We're running it on the 15th of May this year for 1 week. So you come to us and we do all the taught elements are done during that 1 week. But the assessment for that is a thing called an integrated professional assessment. So if you pass that module, then you've now ticked the 3rd box, if you like, towards registration. So those are the 3 things that we're able to help you with mostly on towards your registration. You also need to submit what they call a portfolio professional practice, a thing called a PPP. So this is a professional and it's overseen by the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health. And it's basically a work-based experience thing. We're able on the course to help you with what's up to you on the program. And we're trying to build more of these into the program itself to help people obtain the necessary skills and experience for registration purposes. And so that's the 4th box. The final thing is that you have what we call a professional interview. So you can only do the professional interview when you've passed the degree, passed the food inspection, passed the integrated professional assessment, and passed the portfolio professional practice. You then put the professional interview. And again, that's overseen by the Chartered Institute of Health. The other option in terms of registration purposes is that you could qualify as an environmental health officer in Scotland. And to do that, you follow what we call the REHIS route. So they're the Royal Environmental Health Institute of Scotland. To get that, again, there are 5 aspects, and the first 2 I've already mentioned. So if you pass the MSc Environmental Health, it's accredited by REHIS, and you pass the practical food inspection, which is accredited as well. You need to undertake a period of work, normally up to 48 weeks, but they do recognise that students following the master's route with us are quite often working in the field, and so the 48 weeks can be based around current work and such like. When you're undertaking the work-based learning, you then submit a professional logbook, and you can find the details of their logbook at their website. It's not the portfolio professional practice, and it covers the aspects of work you need to do. Once you pass your log, you then put yourself forward for all the professional examinations. So a single oral interview, like the CIA, you have a number of short professional examinations covering different aspects of environmental health. So you'll do one on housing, one on food, one on safety, and so forth. And again, that can be found at REHIS. And it's probably contacting REHIS if you're thinking about following groups, just to talk to them. They do have a dedicated training officer who would be able to help you. If people say, I can certainly put you in touch with them. So that's the sort of the qualification process. Are there any questions so far? Is it clear as mud? Is that clear as mud in the sense that you can't hear half of what I'm saying, or is it just doesn't make sense?
We will be sending out the recording as well. Hopefully the recording picked up more than how you can hear us now. So we'll send it out. So if there's anything missed, do feel free to go back to the recording once we've sent that out. Yeah.
And again, if you do have queries that you think of afterwards, you can obviously get in touch with us and I'm happy to go back to you. Okay, Ken's happy. Good. All right. I mean, I think I mean, it is a bit, because some people sometimes with career direction and so on. It is a big commitment you're letting yourself in for, because it's not just passing a course and that gives you your practice. You've then got to go through some of these professional things, but we can help and support you through that as well, and certainly put you in touch with the right sorts of people. I'll just carry on a little bit. There's only a few more slides to do, and then if you've got any questions, you can ask us. You have time, or if you've got a microphone, feel free to talk. In terms of how you interact with the tutors, I mean, obviously most of that interaction comes through the modules, the talk modules that you'll be following. We also program level things going on as well, and I send out things program level as well. But most of your contact is done obviously through email. We monitor email. So if you do have sort of specific personal things that you need to discuss with a tutor, then the initial contact might be through email. We also make use of a virtual learning environment. We currently use a thing called Blackboard, which if you've been a student recently, you may well have come across Blackboard. And this, if you like, is where our all the course resources sit, where you will access all the talk materials that you need for the program, and this is where you interact with your peers and with your tutors as well. So we set up discussion forums, set up these, and those are all done within it as well. We also run a number of live classroom sessions as well, and we use Blackboard Collaborate. So this is Blackboard Collaborate that we're using now. We use a slightly different version for these live classrooms that we're through all of our modules. We try to lay on these sessions, and where we have topics that we know students have struggled with in the past in getting around, we do lay on extra sessions. I do stuff on the, you may not have come across it, but there's a legal thing to do with nuisance and statutory nuisance, and I do extra sessions on that because sometimes people struggle with the English legal system on that side of things. So we do lay on those things. We use a lot of forums, and this is your opportunity to actually post and comment on what your peers are saying, and tutors are there to answer queries and the such like. And that's where a lot of the learning and the interaction is. We sometimes use what we call blogs, which are basically personal diaries. And this is quite a good skill to use these blogs, because it's something that you'll need to take forward with you when you become an environmental health. And it's all about being reflective. You've probably heard the term reflective, which is something that we try to program as well. We can ring you. If you live the other planet, it's a bit more tricky, but we can ring you. We have the power to do that. We use of a lot of Skype as well. We use a lot of Skype to contact people because it's free. So a lot of Skype as well to contact people, and you can arrange those sorts of things. So usually what students do is if they want to talk about something in particular, their career or whatever, they email the person initially, and then we'll arrange to Skype call you or to do something just to talk to you, because you can't sort of that almost it's not quite face to face, but it's that talking element is quite important. If you're doing the environmental health program, you do need to be aware that you do need, for one of the modules, there's a requirement, and this is part of our accreditation by the professional body, that you do attend the university for 1 week. It's a 1-week block in May, and all the teaching for that module is done during that. We then follow it up with the assessments afterwards, which you do online. Attendance for 1 week, and then there's the food course down at Billingsgate in London as well, which you need to attend. But apart from that, everything else is done online. All the teaching, all the assessments are done online. So again, you don't need to worry about going somewhere to sit an examination or anything like that. We all do it by coursework through the program. So that's how we interact with you. In terms of start dates, the next term starts on Tuesday the 3rd of May. So there's still a bit of time. So if you haven't got your application in, you get it in soon. And we'll be happy to have you join the program. If you've already applied and been accepted onto the programme, then the next stage is obviously to then take it on to enrolment and to roll onto the course itself. When you enrol onto the course, you also need to pay for this. If you're being students who are lucky to be sponsored, then the sponsor will pay direct and you to do as such. They usually provide us a letter or something just to show this, and then the money's straight from the employer. If you're self-funding, there are different ways in which they work, and if you talk to the online advisors, they will guide you through that process. It's to enrol promptly, because it is quite intense. Each module is taught over a 10-week period, and we know where people do start late, even a week late, that people do sometimes struggle to catch up with the materials and such. Enrollment is quite important. Once you're enrolled, you'll then have access to the student portal area, and there's a lot of information on there that you can be walked through prior to the actual starting of the teaching itself, and it will help to get you engaged with the learning environment and the different tools that are available. And there's stuff in there that you can look at in terms of study skills, referencing, plagiarism, all those sorts of things as well. A lot of the stuff that we send out to you comes out via email, so it's certainly worth checking your email account. The student emails are that I'm not too sure where exactly, but I gather it's out there somewhere. So it means that you can access your email anywhere in the world. It's an online system. And our students do their phones receive their emails direct and such like. So it's certainly worth checking it quite regularly, because we do send out, particularly during the terms, a lot of announcements. During the teaching bit, we do have a lot of group discussions, and we encourage you to take part in these. It's very much a part of that formative learning process that's so important, and it will help you really good understanding of the issues going on in the group discussions. And then, if anything goes wrong and things are wrong, we have a lot of students that have unexpectedly got pregnant during the programme. I'm not suggesting that either of you two would, but these things do come up, and we all have family crises, we all have sort of work crises and things like that. Just talk to us. That's the most important thing. We can always help, and there are ways around a lot of situations, and quite often just talking things through can help ease some of the pressure that you might be feeling. So, term is coming along soon. Was it just about 6 weeks away, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, 6, 7 weeks away. So, it's coming up quickly. And for questions, we're here. If there's anything that I haven't covered, or is there any questions that you might have?
I would also like to mention as well, if you're a UK or EU student, you may be eligible for postgraduate loan. So that's up to £10,000 towards your course if you're a UK or EU student. So that came out last September, and so it can go, whether it's towards your course fees, and for campus they can use it towards travel. And if you are a UK student as well, you can visit other libraries that are near, and if you're in the UK, visit campus facilities open, as you will be a University of Derby, and you'll just be part of the University of Derby online learning. Yeah,
that's a really good point. Loans were brought in for undergraduate programs, but they have now been extended to the postgraduate programs. So it's on the basis that you're lent the money, but you only pay it back once you start earning over a certain salary, and it's then taken from your tax, from the employer directly. That's the general idea, anyway.
Yeah, but it's exactly as undergraduate. So you don't pay anything back until you get qualification, and it's all through student financing as well.
And Natalie mentioned about again, if you're based in the United Kingdom, in another town, we do have reciprocal arrangements with other universities in terms of accessing library facilities. So you could go to their library. But I would say I've been teaching environmental health for 4 years, dare I say, but I've been at the University of Derby for about 15 years, and been online all the time. So we were quite fortunate that we've actually managed to develop quite an extensive online library of resources to support the environmental health programme. So, you know, we've obviously got a lot of online books, but we've also got a lot of online databases that you can. There are various technical things that we make a lot of use of as well. So a lot of our resources are online, and we don't recommend you buy any books at all on the programme, because everything that you need can be accessed through the University of Derby's online library. And there's a lot of journals out there as well that we have access to. So we're quite fortunate in that, because we're quite an established programme, we've managed to build up a really good resource.
And also, if you join our MSc Environmental Health or MSc Environmental Health and you pass your qualification, you will also be invited to graduation at the university. So you'll be here on campus, meet your fellow classmates, meet your academic leaders and those who have helped support you along the way. You actually get to go to the graduation where all the students from campus, online, all around the world will be. So it's a great day as well to join in. So you will be, you know, upon completion of the course, get to come to graduation. It's a great day as well to celebrate your achievements with your family.
And I think there's even a little reception, isn't there, usually?
Yeah, we've got on a reception, so you can meet your fellow classmates and, you know, bring your family along to see the university, and yeah, just it's a really nice day.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah. And quite often you'll meet people that you've been in discussions with for the last 3 years who you've never actually met person to person, and then you come to the graduation and you all of a sudden sort of think, oh, you're this person, and you get to meet them in the flesh, so to speak.
Okay, so any more questions? I mean, if you think of any questions later, don't hesitate to contact us as well.
Yeah, that much. People benefit from studying this program as already in the field. Okay, that's really good. Yeah.
Great.
So
Thanks, Kenneth.
Thanks, Kenneth. Where are you based? London. Okay, that's that's Billingsgate food course. You won't have to worry about accommodation then, will you? But that's good, isn't it? Mm. Brent Council. Yeah, I've never had a student at Brent Council. I have had students at other councils, and you know, in the past we used to go out visiting students on placements and things like that. So I did come down to London on a few occasions. We had someone in the city, had someone in Newham, yeah, London Borough of Newham. I've had someone in, is it Hammersmith and Chelsea? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we get a lot of council,
yeah,
environmental health join us as well.
Oh, okay, well,
So nice and local.
Very local, yeah. Again, we've had a few students at Nottingham. I think they have one from Nottingham City, but we've had them near authorities nearby.
Yes,
it certainly will do, yes. I mean, that is something, and we obviously got what we call standard entry requirements onto the programme, which is usually like a first degree. But I'm equally keen to take people who may not have a first degree, but who are perhaps, you know, they've been working in the sector or they've got some experience in the sector, and that's their route onto the programme. So you know, you don't necessarily need a first degree. We do take people who've got the sort of other experiences and other qualifications, and we've got a really good track record. A student, and he was, I'm not from council, but he was based up in Hull, which is just outside Nottingham, I think. And he had no qualifications at all. He was just a control officer, and we gave him the opportunity, and he's now a principal environmental health officer, I think, over there. He's done really well for himself. So we have got a good track record for what we call one standard entrance to getting qualified and registered.
There's lots of materials online as well, so if you are in terms of writing academic pieces, reports, or just sort of using an online learning portal, we have lots of different guides and modules online where you can go through and help and to really like bring your skills up together. So we do understand that some people might not have studied for a long time or not at all. Yeah. So we do have those available to help people along the way, because we don't want to struggle. We want to help people pursue, really push through their college. Brilliant.
Yeah. And we're trying to build these. We have to do is the modules over 10 weeks I mentioned, and so each week we cover a specific unit. And so at the end of the unit we have what we call an end of year activity, and we're trying to gear some of those up to actually helping people develop some of those academic skills that they need, but also some of the professional skills that you need. Well, 2010 is not that bad, Ed. I mean, I think I had a degree back in about 1990, I think. So I don't think they're huge. But yeah, so
mine was 2013, so
it's very good. Yeah,
it's not that long ago.
it's not too bad, but you know, you do get out of the swing of it, and it can take a little bit just getting back up to speed again. But a lot of support there available for the tutors, but also through the sort of the generic support that the university provides with the different and such like. And we've got a really good librarian. He's really helpful, and he's always happy to take questions and queries from students and to help them find things or to give them support and point them in the right direction. So,
does anyone have any more questions, or like to know anything else about the course, online learning in general, or prices, entry criteria? I'm here to answer any sort of questions. So, I mean, if you do again think of anything afterwards, after the session, then please again don't hesitate to contact us. And Alan is always available in our online. I'm just going to send you his email address as well. So again, if you have any queries or anything, then please don't hesitate to contact us. You know, once we do open our enrolment shortly in a couple of weeks, then again you can ask our online admissions. So that is on the left here. So think about your application or entry criteria or anything like that you'd like more in terms of payment, those sorts of things, then our online admissions team will be more than happy to help. So that's the email address there as well.
higher certificate. Right, is there exemptions for the higher food premises inspection? Maybe. Taking his bets here. I can't remember whether, does that one include the practical food inspection, or is that one just for inspecting food premises? I can't remember which is which, because they used to run two, didn't they? There was a higher certificate in food premises inspection, and was there one called food premises control? I can't remember, to be honest. Yeah, control. Right. Okay. If you control a bit, then the CIH is to give an exemption to the practical inspection elements, and we have to look at the one of the talk modules. But what you need to do is when you apply to the course and you accept your place and you start to get enrolled, then you apply for a thing that's called RPL. It's recognition of prior learning. But there's a big form to fill in, and before you fill the form in and go to a lot of effort to get all the evidence that you need, email me. Just send me a brief outline of what you've got, what you do, and I'll say whether or not you're likely to get it. If I think you're going to get it, then you can fill the form in. If I don't think you're going to get it, well, the decision's up to you then, whether you want to apply formally or not. But to be honest, it's me that makes the decision. So if I say no to you informally, I might say no to you formally as well. So, but email me with the details and I'll let you know. Does that help? Okay. Yeah, I put my email address up there. It's just a.whitfield@derby.ac.uk. Happy to take emails anytime. But not next week. On holiday next week. It's Easter. Yay!
Easter for everybody.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, are there any more questions? I'll just go on to our last slide here. So again, you can contact us or kind of look online to see what's going on with the university on our Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and YouTube. A lot of our YouTube will be loading this recording up to our YouTube channel, so I will send the link out once we have that available. Join us on LinkedIn and see, for updates on the university, on Twitter and Facebook. So nearer the time we may do more webinars, so if there's any other questions that you have, either join or again contact Alan or our admissions. And But yes, thank you, Ed and Kenneth, for joining us this morning. Though I know it's not always the easiest time to join a webinar, and I think we've also had someone join Mayada, and I think you've joined late. But again, we'll send out the recording. Online admissions will be able to help you in terms of payments, and we also do offer, doing this yourself, you do not have to pay everything. You don't have to do everything at once. So I was just reading Mayada's question there. So we do flexible payment plans, so you don't have to pay everything up front. You can pay in stages throughout your course, as we are aware that people do, working, they have other commitments, and so yeah, we try and do that to suit everybody. So all our payment plans are online as well, about the postgraduate loans and other sorts of payment plans as well. So, but our online admissions team will definitely be able to help you out with that one, Ed. So, and yes, I'm very sorry you did get the daylight savings time wrong, but we will be sending out the recording, and we can take any questions. So please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Are you based internationally? So not in the UK, because what we do is we offer there's two programs. There's you're in the Sudan, right? And in that case, I would direct you towards, we run a sister program, which is what we call an MSc. It's Public and Environmental Health. It covers the same basics as the Environmental Health program, but it's more targeted at international people, particularly people who are living in more developing countries. So certainly the Sudan would be one of those. So you cover three core modules. If I just quickly, I can show you the slide very quickly. Hang on, try and help you. Here we go. So there we go. So this is the Environmental Health program is primarily aimed at people who want to work and live in the United Kingdom and practice as an environmental health officer here in the UK. And that doesn't mean to say that they can't practice it overseas, but because it's accredited by the professional body, there are specific UK things that you have to cover as part of it. And some of that's been a bit of a deterrent in the past to international students. So we've set up the MSc Public Environmental Health. And the idea behind that is that you have core modules, the ones in blue, but we also offer a number of optional modules, and we're also developing more optional modules. And this has been done on the basis of some of the feedback we've had from international students in the past, and in particular they've wanted to go into a bit more depth around some of the specific issues. So we do one currently on solid waste management. We've got another one on environmental pollution and management control. I do one on what I call it's global environmental health and public health issues. So it's very much looking at all those public health concerns in developing countries. So we'll look at the different infectious diseases. We'll look at sanitation and water. We will obviously look at malaria and things like that. But we'll look at conflict in terms of the migration of people. And we look at natural disasters and things like that as well. And there's also a risk and hazard management module that you can take part in as well. We will be adding to some of these optional modules as well, because there seems to be a demand for specific technical things. Is it viable? Yes, it is. That's the other advantage with this route, if you like, this program, is that there's no requirement to come and attend anything in the United Kingdom. Because the Environmental Health program, there's a couple of things that the professional bodies insist that the students have to do, and they can only do that by attending. So that's why we've set up a separate program. This one is the MSc Public and Environmental Health. The title's slightly wrong there, I'm afraid. But that's the one that might be better for your good self. And we've certainly I've had students in Africa before. I've had students in Uganda, where else have I had them? Kenya, Botswana. Yeah, so we've had quite a few. No, that's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. I haven't got to Sudan yet, I have to say. I got close to Sudan because I went to Uganda. And I've been to the source of the Nile, so that wonderful river that runs all through your country. I was close, but not actually in Sudan. So, but it's lovely people in Uganda, I have to say.
And we will be sending out the recording as well. I'll just send you...
More pyramids in Egypt. I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. You're right. Yeah. Even though they look like cheese triangles. Is that the weather? Is it? Does it make holes in it?
What I will do is send you our Alan's email address here and our admissions advisor. So Alan can again answer any more questions about the course. And our online admissions advisor would be more than happy to speak about entry criteria or payment plans, which we do. I think you joined just after when I was talking about our flexible payment plans as well. So we don't expect everything at once. It is very flexible in terms of what you can pay and when. So that's all online as well. But don't hesitate to contact Alan or our online admissions team.
Yeah.
So, and we'll be sending the recording out so you can hear a bit more about online learning, the benefits, and how you'll learn, what you'll learn, and so it will be all on there. So I'll be sending that out this week anyway.
Yeah. I've just said actually, I have had a student, but it was one of my own campus. He was an asylum seeker from Sudan who came in Birmingham, and he came to us to study environmental health, and he's qualified as an environmental health officer in the United Kingdom, and but it was very hard for him because I remember he came over, but he had to leave his wife and his children behind, and he didn't see them for 4 years, I think, because he couldn't go back for various reasons. But eventually they managed to get his wife and his family over to see him, and I met them at graduation, which was really nice. There you go. It was a happy ending, yes. It was really good for him, and I was really pleased with him. See, he did struggle at first, but he got there, a bit of work, and we were able to support him as well. So he was a really nice guy as well.
Yeah, we do support you as well through your online learning process. So whether it's academic reports and the online learning portals, so that's all available once you enroll into the course. And, your reading list, you get library all online, it's very up to date. So reading materials.
Yes, anyway, it will be towards the end. Actually, we work with you, and please send me. I'm always talking about where people coming to see people travelling. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you for everyone for joining us. So we'll be sending the recording out shortly.
We'll sign anyway.
Thank you.